Hey guys, Scott here again. The new beer dissection video. Depending when you're watching this, I had picked up a new compilation, Southern Tier, overstocked, I think 15 pack or so. Those of you not familiar with Southern Tier, they're out of Lakewood, New York, about southwest of Buffalo, New York. Those of you not in the New York area, usually kind of south of Albany, going out west. We call that the Southern Tier of New York versus downstate, which is Long Island, Westchester, Suffolk County, Rockland County, just north of the city. So I've been reviewing a few beers from them. There's been like a couple of hazies, which is a New England IPA, juicy IPA. They have a couple of regular IPAs in there. They got one blonde ale, which as of the filming of this particular video, I haven't done a review on that yet. So again, Lakewood, New York. Sorry about the coughing. So again, what I'm going to be reviewing today is Southern Tier 2XHaze, which I believe just means that it's probably going to be 2x hazy, juicy, double IPA, which is probably going to be just double the alcoholic strength, maybe more hop addition. So this is 8.2% alcohol. They classify it as bold, dynamic, extraordinary. Not much more than that. The best buy date they have on there is May 16, 2023. I'm filming this at the end of January 23, so we're pretty reasonably fresh. And I'd like to think, even though I'm not living in the Southern Tier of New York, that being on New York, that I'm getting this pretty fresh. And this was coming actually from one of the local beer stores. Okay, so 2x hazy. So again, as I've said before in prior videos, I like to get these compilation packs because you can get a little bit of a taste of a certain brewery by just paying $20, getting 3 to 4 beers. And this one particularly has, I think, 5 beers, 3 of each gives you 15. There's, like I said, 2 hazies, a couple IPAs, 1 blonde ale, a couple double IPAs, and things like that. So this 2x hazy IPA is coming in 8.2% alcohol, as I said, 20 IBUs, which by now, if you've been following me at all, you've learned that hazy New England IPAs, juicy IPAs are going to be lower in bitterness. So the IBUs on this is 20, which is putting you around Munich Helles territory, which is that pale beer drank primarily in Bavaria, but you see it a lot at Oktoberfest, even though that's more of a fest beer. But like in southern Germany, you'll see Munich Helles, which is a primary beer that they drink. So anyway, what I would definitely recommend you with all IPAs is have a tulip glass or some version of that. If you have to go with the pint glass, if you have one laying around, a tulip pint, a Nonic pint, things like that. Okay, so let's open up this bad boy here. Like I said, reasonably fresh. They have a nice little hop icon there, and that's it. So 2x haze. There is a new haze, and I think maybe a regular hazy. And again, I'm expecting this to either be brewed with, this one is brewed with oats, 2-row malt, as well as oats. That's what gives it some of the haze. The polyphenols from the hops, the oats, sometimes unmalted wheat you'll get from that. So I expect this to pour a little bit like a New England IPA, juicy IPA. So let's open up this bad boy. Okay. Lakewood, New York. I expect they're having a lot of snow this time of the year. We'll follow Buffalo. Very close to the Pennsylvania-New York border. So we've kind of got this hazy, on camera it's looking gold, but it's definitely a darker straw, light gold color. Definitely a lot of haze here, very murky. I got about a ½ an inch of white foam head on this. Definitely can't see through it, so it's kind of like this opaque, hazy type of look, which is not too far off. A little darker than I would like. You know, I get a little concerned with IPAs that sometimes if the hops start turning, you get a little bit of a darker look to the beer. So definitely not clear, but for a hazy IPA, this is, you know, pretty standard. We'll see what it smells and tastes like in a second. Okay, let's take a whiff of this. Oh, strong citrus grapefruit on this one. Let me see if I took any notes. Two-row oats, which kind of gives it the haze, Citra and Mosaic hops on this beer. A pithy orange aroma, white bread, wheat bread, even though there may not necessarily be wheat in this, but like wheat bread aroma as far as the malt profiles to be concerned. This is, like I said, 8.2%, 20 IBUs, International Bitterness Units, if you haven't watched more than one of my videos. Slightly dank, but very pleasant. I mean, even though, you know, I say things like dank and it sounds like I'm criticizing the beer, but it really is very nice. Okay, so cheers, guys. Again, but typical New England IPA look to this. I don't see any particulate in it, but definitely hazy. Yeah. I'm just taking it all in. You know, low, moderate bitterness, which again, what did I say? It was 20 IBUs, which is what you expect. 8.2% alcohol. I get a little bit of warmth to this. A lot of citrus. I kind of get a little stringency, like lemon-like, grapefruit-like, which would explain that. Trying to think what else would I get from this. Some mild alcoholic warmth, light to medium bodied, but being at this alcoholic strength, I mean, there is some nice balance. I mean, you definitely tell this is a New England IPA. Sometimes it's a blurred between American IPA as well as West Coast IPA, but there's no doubt about this one. Okay, definitely a murky yellow. Maybe a light peach on short sniffs. Some astringency, but that could be from the pithy grapefruit kind of quality I get from it. Neutral malt profile, white bread, doughy, things like that. But overall, like, you know, pretty prototypical New England IPA, and definitely nice for this style of beer. Yeah, good. Very nice. So, like I said, you get this little lingering astringency, kind of almost like lemon-like. You kind of get this little puckering. That could be a combination of the alcoholic warmth with the bitterness, even though it's still reasonably low, 20 IBUs. But let's keep in mind, you know, German Pilsner IBUs is roughly 22 to 40, so we're not that far off of that. So there's enough bitterness there. As far as pairing cheeses, cheddar cheese, I go with some sheep milk cheeses, Italian sheep milk cheeses, hard rind cheeses like that. Chicken dishes, I would kind of keep it with, you know, certain chicken tacos, cilantro, things like that. That if you were looking at, because it has a little astringency, almost like lemon-like, so I would kind of keep it along those lines. And that, fortunately and unfortunately, a lot of the IPAs these days have that to it. You know, between the mango, the citrus, lemon-like astringency, you have that type of perception of some of these beers. But very nice. Again, the 2-3 beers I've reviewed from Southern Tier that fall into this IPA style definitely has been better than the Goose Island and even the Victory that I reviewed over the last month or so. So again, guys, Southern Tier 2x Haze, which Hazy Juicy Double IPA, which just really signifies the fact that it's a higher alcoholic strength, more IBU units, so there's more bitterness to it. But very nice. I mean, it looks and the aroma and the flavor sits within a typical New England IPA. So again, I would recommend it. If I was grading it, I know sometimes I'm on again, off again with the grading system. I put this as a B minus, B minus, which sounds like being critical, but there are a ton of New England IPAs on the market. I would have no problem, roughly $20 to pick up this 12-pack, which was from Southern Tier, to drink this regularly. That's no problem at all. But I am stacking this up against a lot of New England IPAs, which seems to be a popular style with a lot of nano and microbreweries, especially in the Northeast. Other than that, guys, again, I would recommend. So far, so good with the Southern Tier compilation pack that I picked up, which, again, I probably had already popped over my shoulder a few times. I would recommend it. So again, Beer Dissection, Southern Tier, 2x IPA, Haze, 2x Haze. Definitely would recommend it, especially if you're trying to, sort things out if you're into this style of beer. All right, guys, until next time, have a good one. Take care.